The following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
We're committed to being great here. I'm proud to represent Washington State. I know the people that wear their Cougs all across this country, they're proud to be a part of Washington State. Why not be here? Why not cheer on this team? Why not see this environment and make it something special? What an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zappos, alongside Cougar head coach Jake Dickert, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Thursday night at Zappos. That means it's time for the Cougar Football Hour.
It's Thursday already. Do you believe that?
Oh, here we
fast
go.
Did this week
Here
go?
we go. Well, at least there's a little buffer, coaches. We're here with Jake Dickert.
Yeah.
A 7:30 kickoff Saturday at San Diego State. So Saturday there'll be a little bit of time before the game gets started.
Yeah, just like your partner Alex Brink. I think he's going out there and doing a little Torrey Pines, a little golf before we get rolling out there. But I think a lot of Cougs are making that late fall migration down to San Diego, and I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. So they've been waiting for us on the bye week, but we're ready to stay in rhythm and coming off a really big win.
Can't wait for the team to be back in action Saturday night against San Diego State. The Cougs 6-1 after that homecoming victory, 42-10 over Hawaii on Saturday. That was just a picture-perfect fall day on Saturday at Giesa Field.
It was. I mean, the 12:30 kick. I mean, it was just right in our wheelhouse, and I just think it was our, maybe our most complete game, both sides. I mean, I think it was really complimentary football, Chris, when you really look back at it, from the takeaways to the finishing of the drives to the red zone, the big plays, lots of energy, homecoming. It just had it all, and just really proud of our team because you want as a coach to continually get better, and I think that's what we feel like our team is doing. They're very hungry. They're not full. They're not satisfied. They're not complacent. And I think when you play like that, it's inspiring, of what you want to continue to do. So just keep taking them one at a time. But that was a big win last Saturday.
The fans at Giesa Field had a lot to cheer for. And before we dive in more into that Hawaii game, just a heads up on what's coming up here. Of course, we'll preview the San Diego State game. Cooper Mathers, who has been just a touchdown magnet this year, the tight end, will be our player guest. We're excited to chat with him. We'll get to our listener audience questions. But the Hawaii game.
Yeah.
John Mateer, a heck of a game. And I just, looking at the record book after, he's made his way into the record book in a number of spots. But fourth best completion percentage in a single game in program history, 85% passing, 23 of 27. How pleased were you with what he was able to do in the passing game in that game on Saturday?
Well, I just think more pleased, Chris, with the reset that he had. He came off of a couple different performances where he was very critical of himself, wanted to get better, really strained in practice. And, I think the biggest thing is John's learned a lot as he continues to grow. So the pocket progression passing was number one that he had to work on going into that week, and I thought he played very controlled. But I also think, as we talked last week on the show, that we're going to simplify it down. Let's find a bunch of things that he does really, really well, and let's keep doing those things. And I think he played within himself. And I talked to him this morning. I just wanted to make sure he knew that, hey, we don't want to make you something you're not, right? Your job is to make the fastest, most aggressive decision that you possibly can and let your natural ability go. And last week it was being more of a pocket passer. I think we were controlled in how much we ran him. And he's like, Coach, my body feels great. I only got hit 6 times, right? So there's just a lot of things that he does and brings to our team that's really, really great. And good to see him have that type of performance and spread the ball around and really utilize his whole skill set.
And the team, you talked about it being complementary football on the defensive side, forcing 3 turnovers. Now 6th in the nation in turnovers forced this year with 14. I know we've talked about this before, but you're getting up to that number of 14 where I know analytically that is a big number when you're getting in that range just for the recipe of winning football.
It's huge, and we've talked about it before, where that plus 20 is where you really see teams over time. You can get to 20 takeaways, that equals 8+ wins a year. And to not give the ball away on the other side is just as big as an advantage. We talk every week, that's the ball battle, right? The ball is the program. Carrying the ball is caring for the ball, right? And making sure our people know that we're going to go out there and take the ball away and be aggressive. And the great part of it came from all different levels. I mean, it really did. And it was physical football. But we have a saying, the ball finds energy. And, Jamari's a great example. As Boogie was whipping him around, he's running, from the backside of the play. He gets a hit, the ball pops out, bang, right? Parker McKenna staying the course, being very physical through there. So it was just good to see a bunch of different ways. And obviously Buddha's catch there and run. And obviously the linebackers give him a bunch of hard time that he can't catch. And he's like, now look at me now. So he's made a couple big plays. And like I said, that just kept our team really rolling and energized. And to see the offense capitalize on those things, that is great team football.
It was a good day for Buddha. Alex Brink talked to him on the post-game show, and he mentioned it was his mom's birthday as well. So Mom got a birthday shout-out.
Yeah, she did. He told me about that later. He's like, oh, Mom says thanks. I don't know, I retweeted or something, whatever he said. But, it was great to see. And he's been playing better and better, and that's the best part. He's learned how to handle success and keep working. And obviously we need him to be his physical self this week as we go into a different style of team that's really going to try to run the football.
The turnover that Parker McKenna helped to create was by getting to the quarterback. That seemed to be a big theme in that game. Not just the pressure, but successfully getting to the quarterback.
Well, I think it was one of those things we came into it feeling like we could really be aggressive in their style of football, knowing that, they're probably going to do a bunch of quick pass. They hit us with a couple screens, but we learned from the first time we got to affect the quarterback. And if we can't get there with 4, bring 5, bring 6, bring the house. And I think we did that a couple different times. It was effective. He never got comfortable through the course of the game. I think that was one thing you could see as the game kept going. Really good quarterback, but when you're not comfortable, you're not going through your reads, you're worried about where the obviously the blitzes are coming from, and we hit them a couple times really good early, which kind of set the tone for the game. So proud of our guys, proud of our defensive coaching staff, and kind of putting a plan together to go out there being aggressive. And I think our guys have really stacked up 2 really good performances now on the defensive side of the ball. So they need to keep building on that. Don't be satisfied. But those are the progression points that you want to see as a coach.
2 weeks ago, gave up just 17 on the road to Fresno State, and then only 10 in that homecoming victory over Hawaii. We mentioned 6-1 the record now. 6, that number stands out. 6.
It does.
The Cougs clinching bowl eligibility. I know there's so much in front of this team, but it is nice to take a moment. I know you did with the team after the game, but since we're all here, nice to take a moment. That is an accomplishment. What is it like knowing, hey, on October 19th, the program knows bowl eligible is already locked in?
Well, first things first, that means that we're all going somewhere warm in December. Like that's a big deal. But at the end of the day, like I've said this last year and the first year when we went to the bowl game, is like at Washington State, it can never be like overlooked how hard that is to do. Like, look at the history of it. And, for our guys to do it this early, to be locked in, we really didn't talk about it going into the game. I think, guys are aware of what that means, but they're really proud of it, especially our seniors, from last year and not getting what we wanted to do with that team. It was one of their big goals to make sure that we're earning extra time together. And the best part about the bowl season is I call it winter camp. Those young guys, the freshmen in our program, they get all kinds of opportunities to grow and get better and play and practice. I mean, it's an extra, depending when you play, 15 practices. So I'm just excited for those guys, and the connection of this team is real, and they're just really excited to continue to play together. And if we keep stacking it up, we can go to, obviously, a very high bowl game, which will be exciting for our fans.
Well, can't wait for what is to come for the Cougs, but an exciting rest of the regular season still to come. And, before we put a bow on the Hawaii game, any final thoughts on that game? Anything we didn't touch on that you thought was important when either living it or looking back at the tape?
Well, I just think, we were on point and we were right. We came into this game wanting to go out and put a dominant performance on tape, and I think we did. And when you do that, the exciting part of it is you get to see a bunch of young guys play. Jackson Potter going out there and making plays, BG making catches, our second O-line being physical and running the ball. Javinsky Schlembaker shows he's back healthy and ready to go. So, I don't know, our team's just getting better and better, and I think as a coach that's exactly where you want to be. We feel like we're in rhythm. and we're ready to accept this next challenge. So proud of our guys. Obviously, homecoming's big, and heck, we're already in week 8. I mean, it's amazing how fast this is going. So I remind them constantly, enjoy the moment. These are the moments you won't forget for the rest of your life, and it's the practices, it's the travel, it's the locker room, it's being in the cafeteria together, and it's the Friday night kind of funny things that we do. But it's just great to live in that moment, and they should be really proud of what they've accomplished so far.
So many positives. The Cougs looking to carry over for that road game Saturday against San Diego State. We'll take our first time out here from Zeppos. More to come with the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. After this, you're tuned in to the Cougar Football Hour here from Learfield.
Dear Autumn Leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Toyota's lineup of cool, colorful vehicles is ready to ride by your side. Take on fall in a trail-tackling Tacoma or go for the powerful Tundra. Head to Toyota.com for more info or visit your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should. Especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Are you interested in your company reaching Coug fans in and out of game day? As the multimedia rights holder for Washington State Athletics, Washington State Sports Properties helps companies and organizations connect themselves to Cougar Athletics in unique and exciting ways. Whether it's creating brand awareness, driving product sales, or entertaining employees or clients, Washington State Sports Properties has the resources to help your business achieve its marketing goals. Reach out to Washington State Sports Properties to learn more about what sponsoring the Cougs can look like for you.
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a Go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Coug. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
In business, just like sports, it's all about the team you assemble to get the job done. And for over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has put an all-star team together of the best siding, window, and roofing installers in the business. So if you're in the market for an upgrade, remodel, or add on to your home, give the pros at McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows a call today. We'll come out and give you a free estimate. McVeigh Brothers Siding and Windows. We're always working for you.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
The Cougs get the stop! The Cougs get the stop! Cougs take over!
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Well, Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards program. To join the program, visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. Back here at Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour, next to the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. And we've talked before on the show about the Taylor Sports Complex. The fact that it was going to open Saturday was so great in the morning for the ribbon cutting, but I know today was the first time the football team was in there and got to really put it to its full use. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. You know, a couple guys asked on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I was like, oh, hell no. You know, we're going to be outside. We're going to be practicing. But on Thursdays, I love it, especially when playing warmer climates, to have everything clean. You know, take off the sweatpants, get, you know, the hand warmers, the sleeves, and just making sure we're clean and that fast little run-through, obviously, before I have our walkthrough tomorrow before we hit the plane. And it was great. I mean, everyone and, just kind of a new stimulus, right? That new toy, that fresh car smell to be in there a little bit. And obviously to have our first practice in there was just great for the energy, the momentum, the young guys. You just hear them talking, we're going to use this in the winter. I got swipe access. We get one of those fancy little jugs machines that shoots you the ball. Did you ever see those things? Free plug, the Monarch little deal where you can plug in your route and it throws you the deal. So our guys were just excited to be in there. The big guys are like, Coach, we can leave the garage door open and get air in here without the bubble deflating. Like that's what the big guys think about. They're like, Coach, normally it's really sweaty in here. But so it was great to be in there, kind of break it in. We still got all the equipment stuff and some little things to do, but just a great first step and just really honored to have that type of facility here.
You just mentioned the new car smell. There really is. When I went in there the first time, I was like, it smells new. Everything about it is new. It is what a wonderful addition to the facilities for Cougar Athletics. And one thing to mention, by next week, so we won't have a show next Thursday, and I believe that falls on Halloween. So early happy Halloween to everyone.
Okay,
I know you and the coaching staff, you're always busy during the bye week, but we'll
stop by the Dickert household. I'll make sure Candace has full-size candy bars. I'm going to put that out there. If we don't, that's on her. That's disappointing. Yes.
It's got to load up here soon, because that's going to be that is going to be
a lot of requests. Yeah.
Oh goodness. And we've talked before on the show about the schedule. More news coming out about the schedule, even some more today. Just latest thoughts is next year's schedule is just about buttoned up. I know just almost there at the end of I believe one more game, and then it's set for next year.
Yeah, I think we announced the Colorado State home game or away game earlier today, and then obviously the home and home series with Oregon State. It's not ideal, by any means, but we're officially an independent team, next year for one last season. So just one game away. I do know who that's going to be. I can't say that just yet, but so it's all taken care of. That'll be released here in the next week or so, and just excited. I appreciate our administration. I haven't been really focused on it at all, but to know that we've done an amazing job, really crossing all conferences, the whole country, to have a way to play elite competition and get a lot of home games here, I think will be special. So excited about our schedule and the way it's come together, and look forward to obviously 2026 and getting back into conference play.
Well, excited about this game Saturday. The Cougs on the road against San Diego State. We'll take a break here from Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour. When we return, we'll get Coach Dickert's thoughts on this matchup with the Aztecs. That's all after this. You're tuned in to the Cougar Football Hour from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast. Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
And now it's a BOGO situation with buy one, get one for $1 on sausage McMuffin, burritos, hash browns, and more. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light. Choose chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly.
Back at Zeppo's on the Cougar Football Hour. Washington State heading down to Snapdragon Stadium. 7:30 kickoff, and it will be a matchup against San Diego State. A reminder, our coverage will start at 5:30. Derek Dice and Grady Emerson will get you all set for this matchup. Here with Jake Dickert, the coach of the Cougs. Okay, this matchup against the Aztecs, what has stood out the most about San Diego State when getting ready for this game?
Well, I'm just looking at the history of their football program. Obviously, very, very strong. You know, when I was in the Mountain West, I mean, that's when it was Rocky Long, and this team was rolling. A couple of their tailbacks were always tops in the country. I believe Pumphrey is still the all-time leading rusher, if I'm saying that correctly. But physical football teams, and obviously Coach Lewis is in his first year, kind of restarting that program in a little bit different mindset and identity. So I think you can see a little bit of that, but. Obviously, throughout history, they've been tough to beat, especially down there in their place. I've been to the old Qualcomm, you know, where the old
spacious there, right?
Yeah, the old Chargers used to play, and that was. I understand why they left there. It wasn't great, but the environment was great, and they were rolling, and we lost a tough one down there. But you know, offensively. You know, that's what Coach Lewis's specialty is. So they're going to spread you out. They're going to do tons of RPOs. The tailback 15 transfer kid is really tough. I think he's the all-time leading rusher, correct?
He's the active leading rusher, and it's pretty remarkable to think about. At most rushing yards among active NCAA players at the FBS level.
That's tons of longevity, and he's just a good football player. So they find different ways to get on the ball in the run game, the screen game. And then now the last few weeks, they've really taken shots down the field. And their receivers, you know, all around a true freshman quarterback who's learning and growing and getting better each week. So they're finding their rhythm a little bit of offense, and hopefully we don't let them find it this week. That's the plan.
That true freshman quarterback, Danny O'Neal, pretty remarkable. He was the starter in game one for him. Had to miss the Cal game, wasn't 100% then, but he's been good at not turning the ball over. It was his 128th passing attempt when he had his first interception of his college career. What have you seen from him?
Well, I just think, like I said, if you can look at the first couple games, you can see a little indecision. And now that he's getting more comfortable and more experience under his belt, I think they're doing a good job shaping the offense to his strengths. Obviously, more of the handoffs, more of the protection shots, the RPO game. They'll throw those routes away from the tailback and do a bunch of different things. But he's as talented as it gets, and he can make all the throws. We got to try to corral him and keep him in the pocket and obviously push those things back so he doesn't feel comfortable. So it'll be another big challenge this week to make sure that we don't allow him to get back on rhythm.
When you see the schedule come out and you're facing an opponent coming off of a bye, when the Cougs aren't coming off of a bye, does that make you wince a little bit, or that just it's going to happen? It is what it is.
It's really the first thing you check. I mean, they went away from that. That's something that used to happen, and then the conferences went to be like, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to line up everyone's buys, and if you're playing someone off a bye week, they will have one too. So it's a unique deal, and remember, this was always a scheduled non-conference game. Everything got reshuffled, so it's just the way it ends up happening to be. So as a coach, I think you're obviously paranoid about most things, and I think this would be one of them. They've been studying us for 2 weeks, so we're on a normal week of preparation. We just got to make sure that we're playing our game. You know, a little bit of a slight advantage there, but, you know, if we go through our execution points and we know our game plan and we stay and play the way we're capable of playing, I think we're going to be successful in this football game.
Marquez Cooper, as we talked about, the active leading rusher for career rushing yards in the nation. But you look at their defense, Trey White, what he has been able to do this year. So they've got the active leading rusher, and they've got a guy who has wrecked havoc. 11 sacks through 6 games, including 10.5 over the last 4 games. So he's averaging 1.83 sacks per game.
How incredible that is.
Which would be an FBS record for most sacks per game in a season. Here are the guys he would be along with Terrell Suggs, Elvis Dumerville, and Dwight Freeney. Those are the names you're talking about with those numbers there.
I mean, that's a heck of a start to the season. I mean, that's just incredible. But that's the one thing. When you look at SDSU throughout the course of time, defense has been at the premier of it, and there's a physical style play. There's very much an attacking style play, and just because they have a new coaching staff, they haven't lost that. That is the backbone of their football team. And really, the last couple of weeks, the defense has created offense. They had a pick 6 against Wyoming, a couple different takeaways. They're really coming into their own, understanding a new and different style of scheme. But Trey White is the engine right now. I mean, 11 sacks. That's getting people behind the chains. They're doing it great, though. It's not just him beating people schematically. They're getting him matchups. They're getting him one-on-ones. He's looping down the center and making some plays. So I don't care how you slice it. That's a lot. I had a kid at Division II, Josh Gordon, at Mankato, had 17.5 sacks in a season. And I was like, I don't think this will ever be touched. And he was almost the all-time sack master in all of college football. I think he had over 36 sacks or something. But 17.5 in a year, I thought that was a lot. This guy, he's got 11 through 7 games. I mean, it's just pretty impressive stat line.
That's incredible for your player there at Mankato, what Trey White is able to do. Just the opposing teams they know they're good, and yet you still aren't able to stop them. Just reckon how much havoc.
Yeah, in the last game, Wyoming tried to chip him. I mean, he defeats the chip, beats the tackle on the inside, gets a sack. So it's just like, man, it's been it's tough sledding, but you got to be aware of where he is, and that's energized their offensive line. I mean, Falili Faamui is like, let's accept the challenge. Esapole is like, let's accept the challenge. So you do have to be aware schematically what they're doing and how they're doing it, but anytime you go against the elite competition, if you're an elite competitor, come on, bring it on. And those guys are excited about the challenge, as I'm sure their player is too, to go against bookend tackles that are this good. So it's going to be a heck of a battle. They're going to be a bunch of Goliaths going at it at the edge. But he's about 6'2", and he has speed and power, and he is a high motor guy. And you can just tell he loves football by the way he plays.
This is a road game, but I think we're expecting a good number of Cougs there, right? And there's a lot of Southern California Cougs. There are a lot of guys from the San Diego area. I'm thinking of guys we've had on the show this year, Quinn Roth and Josh Meredith. Yeah. Have you heard that chatter that some guys are fired up to be back close to home?
Oh, I think there's no question. And here's what I've learned in my 3 years being the head coach. When you're playing in Southern California, it's hard, right? Not just for the teams, but I'm playing in front of my family, and I have all these ticket requests. And I just remind our guys, play, don't press. Let the game come to you. It's an honor to play and represent your family. And I think I always want our guys to understand that's a big deal, right? Southern California, it's a hotbed of our recruiting, and we get tons of guys from there. So, but calm, relax, play. Don't put unneeded pressure on yourself. They just love being able to drive 2 hours down the road and see you play. So sit in that, enjoy that. Obviously, Friday night at the hotel is always jumping because tons of family will be there for these guys, and I want that for them. There's no doubt about it. But keep the main thing has been one of our themes this week, and that is still going down there and getting a win, which we haven't done in Southern California since 2015. So that includes 3 bowl games in San Diego and obviously that city of L.A. So we're excited about going down there doing something hard, but I encourage all Cali Cougs to be there. I mean, ticket requests have run wild, and there's going to be tremendous support for the Cougs there, so it's going to be really fun to see.
Looking forward to seeing that crimson and gray throughout the stands at Snapdragon Stadium. Coach, we'll let you loose for now, and we'll have you back a little later on. But coming up next, Cooper Mather's excited to talk with him.
What a story. You're going to enjoy Coop. I mean, almost on the precipice of being a record breaker. He's right there. So don't tell him about that, even though he just heard me sitting over there, wherever he went.
Yeah, I think he maybe went away for a moment. So we'll surprise him with that. So more to come here. Cougar Football Hour from Zeppos. We'll be back with Cooper Mathers after this. You're tuned in to Cougar Football from Learfield.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 60 daily departures to more than 20 non-stop destinations provided by 7 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, Gisa donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at Gisa.com. Go Cougs.
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Hey, Cougar fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Washington State football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Washington State Cougars. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
He'll run himself, still up on his feet, looking for a blocker. He's still going. Touchdown, John Mateer. 3rd and 20 from the 25. Doesn't matter. Mateer makes some magic again.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Well, earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. Rolling on here with the Cougar Football Hour at Zeppo's, and we're excited to be joined by Cooper Mathers, senior tight end from Seattle for the Cougs. How you doing tonight? Great to visit with you.
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Well, there's a lot to talk with you about, and we appreciate you coming. Let's start right here. I know you've kind of had a journey in your WSU career. How did you end up as a Coug?
So in high school, I wasn't very highly recruited. I think I was unranked in Washington. Boo. I mean,
you've straightened that out, though.
I didn't really care. I just wanted an opportunity, and there were a couple schools I was considering, as in like D3 Whitworth up in Spokane, and then this junior college, Reedley, where their coach was really selling me on we throw the ball a lot, which we didn't have at O'Day, and to our tight end. So I was thinking about that, but ultimately late in the process, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how they found me, but one of the old WSU special teams coach called me up and was like, do you want to come here as a walk-on? And I hung up. I asked my dad. I was like, would it be cool if I go to WSU? I'd love to. And he was like, yeah, go ahead, and called it back, and I was going to WSU.
So there hadn't been much contact before that? You almost make it seem like it was out of the blue. You see an unknown number on your phone and you answer it?
They hit me up on Twitter maybe like a day before. Like it was really like kind of out of the blue. So I was pretty surprised by it.
And for you, Cougar fans see you flourishing as a tight end, but when you got here, that wasn't your position. You were a linebacker. So when you got that phone call, what point did they say, and we see you as a linebacker?
Yeah, they said that right away, and then I talked to Coach Dickert, who was my linebacker coach, a couple times before I came here. But I knew they didn't have tight ends at the time. Wasn't in their offense, so I was going for linebacker. I hadn't really played it much in high school. Played a little safety, in tight end. So it was definitely going to be a new experience for me coming into WSU.
So you're here. You're a linebacker. How does that transition take place to being a tight end? What sparked it where they look at you and they go, hey, actually, you'd be better suited for us as a tight end?
Yeah, so the first 2 years we don't have tight end, so obviously we need someone to play scout team tight end, and that was me. I'm the young guy. I was built like a tight end a little bit, so I was playing scout team tight end first 2 years, going against BJ, RJ, Jihad, all those guys, just trying to make them look bad in practice, doing my best, So it was fun, I enjoyed it. It wasn't too hard because I was having fun trying to beat those guys and give them a good look for the game and stuff like that.
And is that what happened? That you actually made some of those guys look bad, and that is what kind of flagged it to be like, hey, Cooper, we need to move tight end.
I'd get some of them. We'd have a little talk where we'd be like, who I'm trying to get in the linebacker room. I try to get everybody on a moss, catching over them, and I was trying to get everybody in the room, but we had a little thing back then.
Well, it has been a smashing success, that transition. Just so everyone knows this year, he has 7 catches this season. 4 are touchdowns. What's been behind just your incredibly high touchdown rate?
They're throwing me the ball in the red zone, and I'm getting that opportunity and just got to make the most of it. When your number's called, do your best to make the plays you can make and let the game come to you.
Well, you have certainly been doing that, and let's give some historical context. Coach Dickert teased this out a little bit, but you caught your 4th touchdown of the season, tying the WSU single-season record for touchdowns by a tight end, tying with Chris Layton in 1987. Plus, you have 6 career touchdown passes, tied for the second most in Cougar history for touchdown catches by a tight end. How neat is it to know that you're making your way in the record book here?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I heard that. I thought it would be more, to be honest, but it makes sense with the tight ends being gone from the program for so long. So it's nice to try to bring the tight end position back in full force and do some things, So, yeah.
You've been doing that, and we asked Coach Dickert about this, but I'm curious from your perspective. There's so much more ahead of this team. There's this big matchup Saturday against San Diego State, but the win against Hawaii was win number 6, and I know for you, being in the program for 5 years, being a senior, that's a big accomplishment. Win number 6 means this team is going to go bowling. What did that mean to you? Did that kind of sink in on Saturday, maybe between you and some of your veteran teammates? You guys talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard to make a bowl game. We really learned that last year. It's hard. It's not given. And in the past, all we had known is bowl games since I'd got here. And last year was kind of a wake-up call. We didn't do that. So a big goal we had set for this year was to make one, and we've achieved that now, but we got a lot more better things.
Well, that is well said, and it starts with the game Saturday against San Diego State. We're here at Zeppo's on the Cougar Football Hour. We will take a quick timeout. More with WSU tight end Cooper Mathers after this break. You're tuned in to Cougar Football from Lear Field.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
It's time for Northern Quest's $150,000 Ultimate Game Night Giveaway. Bob, tell them what they could win.
Well, Steve, it's a fully loaded Yukon Denali.
Fully loaded? Sounds like my brother-in-law at Thanksgiving.
All right, Steve. Just come on down and play daily to enter the grand prize drawing on November 30th. Only at Northern Quest's
Ultimate Game Night Giveaway.
This is Drew Bledsoe, and you're listening to Cougar Football.
Bledsoe calls his play, has the ball, throws a home run ball from the end zone to Bobo. Touchdown! Washington State!
On the Washington State Sports Network.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
Get your home turf ready to play with the game-changing performance of Steel. Enjoy big savings this fall on Steel handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Steel is a proud supporter of your Washington State Cougars. Real Steel. Find yours.
This is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Back at Zeppo's on the Cougar Football Hour. Washington State gearing up for the Saturday night road matchup with San Diego State. 7:30 kick. And the guy right next to me, back here with Cooper Mathers, will be out on the field for the Cougs as they will look to try to go 7-1 on the season. And Cooper, we were talking about your journey here, how you got to WSU, making that position change from linebacker to tight end before. What I want to know about now, if folks either here at Zeppo's or over in Seattle, or anyone watching or listening tonight, if they are around Pike Place Market, I hear you have a great recommendation for a place for them to go. What's the story there?
Yeah, so my dad has been running Jack's Fish Spot. It's in the Pike Place Market. He's been running it. He owned it. His name's Jack, and he's been running it since like 1980, 81. So about 40 years now, something like that. But it's family owned and operated. I used to work down there on weekends and stuff like that in the summer a lot. And same with my two sisters. One is actually currently running it. My dad's getting older, so he's trying to step back a little bit, and my sister Murphy is running it at the time. So
now you hear a lot about family-owned businesses. That's a very unique family-owned business, having Jack's Fish Spot in Pike Place Market. What was that like growing up?
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. I'd get to work down there, and all my friends would we'd give them some jobs if they needed some work, helping out, and the food's great. We got a bunch of fried fish and grilled salmon and all types of stuff on the seafood side. And then if you want other stuff, we got the raw fish and stuff like that. And smoked salmon is really good. If you ever go, the smoked salmon's, I definitely recommend that. So, yeah.
Well, I'm excited next time I'm there to check that out. And you said you worked there. So what kind of jobs have you had at the family-owned business? What have you done?
So there's a lot of stuff. You can do the register, and a lot of the time I'll cook on the fry or do the grill. And then there's like the whole other side where you're selling fish. Do a little bit of that and like shucking oysters, just preparing all the types of fish stuff for people to eat. And yeah.
That is very interesting. I know there are labor laws, so I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But is this like when you're like 12 or 13? Is it like, hey, Cooper, we need you to help out back here?
Every once in a while, if somebody doesn't show up, like we'll have some issues with some, workers, like anyone. every once in a while I'd have to fill in a little bit. So nothing bad at all.
Hey, family-owned business. Well, it's what a great background there for you and your family with that business. Off the field, what are you studying? And maybe this goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. But what are you thinking about doing someday when it comes to life after football?
So I'm considering either going into the family business, or I might actually try out firefighting. I've been thinking about that. That could be. Been talking to a couple people. It's interesting, so I'm gonna give it a try. Do some go look into it. But if not, then I might just go back to the family business because it's a good spot and I know what's happening there and stuff like that.
Well, you can't go wrong either way. Exactly. Well, congrats on what has been a really outstanding Cougar career. I know you've had a journey, as we've said, and all the success this season. Best of luck there Saturday, and appreciate you being here tonight.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Again, that is Cougar tight end Cooper Mathers stopping by here at Zeppo's on the Cougar Football Hour. We will take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll be rejoined by Jake Dickert and get to some of our listener and audience questions. That's after this. You're listening to Cougar Football from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Calling all Coug fans. While the Cougars are busy taking home the win this season, you can download the McDonald's app and take home our new Game Day Bundle. Big enough to feed the whole squad. Get 20 golden, juicy chicken McNuggets, plus 2 medium orders of the world-famous fries you love, all for just $11.99. Talk about a winning combination. Must opt into rewards at participating McDonald's. Valid through 2024-25 football season. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Goff intercepted. Touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2024 to March 2025. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneAirports.net.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
The Cougs get the stop! The Cougs get the stop! Cougs take over!
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
It's the Cougar Football Hour back here at Zeppo's, and rejoined by the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. Let's get to some of these listener and audience questions. Let's dive in.
Oh, the nervous segment of it. Here we go. We got this.
Up. It's a Thursday night, which means there's some Thursday night football on. The first question is wondering how many of the Palouse products, former Cougs, are you actively in touch with that are now in the NFL?
I do love that term, Palouse products. I mean, we've hashtagged it a little bit, and heck, if you can make it through our journey, you really make it back on the other side, just really ready equipped for the world. And hopefully a lot of our guys want to chase those NFL dreams, and a lot of them are being realized. I mean, Shaw Smith-Wade is playing for the Carolina Panthers. Brendan Jackson was active for the first time last week. I actually got a chance to visit with R.J. Stone. He's still chasing last week. He was back for homecoming. That was an energized conversation if I've ever had any. Unfortunately, had to text Jalen Watson this week. He did break his leg in a couple places, and he's just had an amazing career. And this is just going to be a unfortunate setback. Who is going to make an amazing journey back. Abe Lucas is coming back for this Seattle Seahawks. So just keep in touch with a bunch of those guys. It's been great to have a bunch of guys since my time here go out and still play and continue on with their career. And actually, just the other day, we sent out their gear box. Right, so they get some Cougar gear. We send it out to all of our guys that are currently on active NFL rosters. So, guys, you'll be receiving that in the next week, I promise.
Keep an eye out probably on social media. Once they get that, they'll be repping their Cougar gear.
It's just important to understand where you came from. And, Minshew's been great about that ever since he graduated. I think he's probably still wearing the same shirt we gave him back in 2018. So I said, hey, Gardner, we'll get you some new stuff. And we have. But all those guys are really proud to be Cougs, and it's just great to represent, this program at the next level.
That is so fun to see. One reminder here, the senior quill, we've had Dean Janikowski on before, and really credit to him, too. I'm just going off on the side a little bit. His punting has really been noticeable, so much on his plate.
We averaged over 50 yards a punt against the Hawaii game. I mean, it was incredible. The coverage is great, and just what he's done for our football team has been just really, really good.
Which goes right in here. So the senior quilt for the 2024 seniors, signed by players with the funds for the Heather Janikowski Foundation, drawing the last coaches show. The raffle is $20 a ticket. And again, credit to Dean for all of his great work off the field and what he's doing on the field for the Cougs as well. We'll take one more break here. More after this. You're listening to the Cougar Football Hour live from Zeppos. This is Cougar Football from Learfield.
With the WSU debit card from Giza, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them grow their money with Smart Plus checking. So, does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Giza.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Back after this local timeout on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Back at Zeppo's here on the Cougar Football Hour. Cougs playing San Diego State Saturday night. We'll get to our last handful of questions here with Coach Dickert. First, a reminder, the Junior Cougs Kids Club with the Halloween a week away. Good time to think about the youngsters. The Junior Cougs Kids Club, presented by Toyota, is the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars and is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsucougars.com/JRCougs. We were talking a little bit during the break about Jack's Fish Spot. We're talking with Cooper Mathers, and that's a spot you've been to before.
No, I can verify that for sure. And his dad has brought me plenty of smoked salmon in the past, and it doesn't last very long in the Dickert refrigerator. So, yeah, it's a great spot. Been energized. You got a chance to meet his sister there when they were running the place. So, yeah, highly recommended. And Coop's story is really cool. I mean, he told it in a great fashion, but, when we recruited him, we didn't really know what we had. He did go out there and terrorize the defense, and when I took over as head coach, I told Eric Morris at the time, I said, I have a great tight end for you. He's right here. He's like, oh, well, you guys didn't have any tight ends. I said, yeah, he's a linebacker. And he goes out there, and he's played like this. It's just been fun. And the first conversation I had at the hotel when I just took over was with Coop's dad, Jack. And he had one thing to say to me. He said, we got this 6'10 guy, Jack Wilson. He should be on field goal block, don't you think? And I was like, I like what you're thinking there, but I never put him on it. And still to this day, he reminds me of that conversation. Coach, you never put Jack Wilson. He's the tallest guy out there. So speaking of Jack's on a practice squad in the NFL with the Indianapolis Colts. So you never know where your journey takes us. And Coop is a great story about just keep believing in yourself, keep playing, and amazing what he's going to do. He's going to be in the record books forever here at Washington State.
Well said there. Let's get to as many questions as we can. This one, Mark B. from Riverside, spent the day at the San Diego Zoo, got me wondering what animal from the animal kingdom does the following player's style of play
Mark coming in hot. Here we go.
resemble? Let's go. Lightning round. John Mateer.
Oh, John would be like a silverback gorilla. Between his thighs and running over people. You ever see those videos?
Uh-huh.
The guys debate who would win, a grizzly versus a silverback, and everyone votes. And man, I'm silverback all the way. I mean, it's cool, but that's John right there.
Well, there you go. Well said about John. How about Cooper Mathers?
Man, I don't want to talk bad on God. Would he be like a giraffe? He's a little gangly, kind of out there a little bit. That's not great. He's not going to be excited about that one.
Well, he's pulling down touchdown catches.
It's rapid fire round.
He's pulling down touchdown catches.
Can't all be winners. Here we go.
Kyle Thornton.
Oh, he's the leader. So, with that, whatever the leader of the animal kingdom would be, maybe a little lion. I'll give KT the lion. He's our leader.
That's a good one for him. I don't think he'd argue with that.
He'll accept that.
Devin Killaney.
Whatever the sweatiest animal in the jungle. Is he like a hippo? He just lives in the water in the swamp. He's in the swamp. He doesn't probably love hippo, but that's a ferocious animal. I'm going to sell that to him in a great way. That is a great thing to be.
I bet he'll buy into it.
I don't want to see one in the wild. I don't anticipate myself doing that, but you know what I mean?
No way.
That's a heck of a question right there.
And finally, Coach Dickert during his playing days.
Something scrawny, weak, and slow. It's not good. It's not good. That was like Jake the Snake Roberts. You know what I mean? There we go.
I like that. I get that reference right there. Jennifer Delzer, what do you think will be the most crucial to the defense continuing to kind of firm up over the next few games? And the defense has been really strong the last 2 weeks. Keep that rolling.
Just the consistency of it, and they've showed when they have the ability to make big plays and do it at all kinds of levels, from the D-line to Buddha at linebacker to Ethan O'Connor to Tyson Durant making plays. But when we're a takeaway defense like we've been the last couple of weeks, we're going to be really hard to beat as a team.
Adam Lewis wanted to know about thunder sticks. What would it take to bring him that? Had him until Pete Carroll complained after beating USC in 2002. What would you think Giza Field would sound like with thunder sticks?
I'm all about it. It just sounds great. Those are little inflatable things that you hit together. Have they been outlawed at Giza Field?
I don't know. We'll
talk to Bill Stevens. That's going to be new in the marketing department. Let's bring them back, because I think that's something that anything generating noise is something that we can all really get behind. At least let's go to the student section. Let's get these guys. They can do the jaws with the thunder sticks. I think we have something going here. So I appreciate bringing that back up, and we'll get that thing rolling.
That sounds good. A couple questions we couldn't get to, but as always, appreciate folks reaching out. Coach, final thoughts Saturday night against San Diego State on the road.
Yeah, just what an opportunity against a really a great football team coming off a bye week, but we're just excited to keep our momentum going, and obviously excited to see all Cali Cougs down there and keep this thing going and be 1-0. So it's going to be a heck of a battle, but just excited for our football team to keep getting better.
A big thanks to Coach Dickert, Cooper Mathers, for Luke Halifax in the studio, Jerry Kylo here on the audio side, Jared Pringruber on the video side. I'm Chris King signing off. We'll talk to you next Saturday night. This has been the Cougar Football Hour from Zeppos. You've been tuned in to Cougar Football from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zeppos, the home for the Cougar Coaches Show, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.